Hello, welcome to the Everton Live Daily. We are live, I think. It doesn't look like we are.
I was just wondering what was that title?
I don't know what that title was. Everton Live. We're live, aren't we? We're live. It's another day, therefore daily. It's all good. Everton striker Chase hots up, apparently. Everton working on 3 deals, if you believe certain reports. I won't believe any of them till I see players holding a shirt up. Yeah. But that is Rodrigo Moreno, who we spoke about. Bill Altore. El Altore. There's more on that today. Everton are moving full steam ahead with that one, apparently. And stuff coming out of Italy that Everton have told Nonto they will sign him this summer. Words to that effect.
Bold claim.
Again, it is a hugely bold
claim.
Because Aston Villa are reportedly interested as well as Freiburg on Nonto. So 3 forward players linked. Rodrigo's the one I think is the most likely out of the 3, just because the price is so low.
Because he's cost the same as a Kinder Egg.
Yeah, it doesn't mean the others won't happen, but that one to me looks like Everton's best opportunity to get something over the line. I mean, if Everton got, and this is a huge if, and probably won't happen, but if Everton got those 3 in and got rid of, like, say, Maupay and maybe Damari Gray, because there's interest in Damari. There's 4 Premier League clubs chasing Damari Gray, apparently, as well as a Saudi club.
The scouts of golden retrievers.
I mean, go forget the new ones just for a minute. Damari Gray.
Yeah.
Right? A year left, but Everton do have an option next summer. Right? But the year left. 12 goals in 2 seasons. In and out of Everton's starting 11, I think is fair to say. He's got something, and he's got that pace, but if the offer's 15 million and above, are you taking it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm just asking you.
It's just asking. He's not good enough. We say 12 goals in 2 seasons like it's some kind of wonder.
Well, for 1.5 million.
I know, but I still don't count that. He was 1.5 million for a reason, because he's not got any consistency, and
we don't need that.
And the manager doesn't like him. And if he can replace him with a player he does like, that suits. Let's keep saying this. It's all about bringing players in that suit what the manager wants, suit what the manager needs. That's got to be. The manager can't. If the manager thinks he's got to play a system to get us away from the area we don't want to be in, then he needs the kind of players that can do that, and he has to make decisions to get rid of players. That maybe some people will go, oh yeah, but he does this and he does that, and swap them for players that do exactly what he needs to get the best out of the system. And it's it's that simple. It's that simple. Seeing the piece today by Paddy Boyland saying obviously we didn't sign Conor Cody, it was purely financial, but that's no real shock to us. We were talking about this yesterday on the live, how bad it is. And we have to wheel and deal, and if we can get £6-7 million for Ellis Sims, and we can get close to 10 million for Maupay, and we can get 10 plus for Damari Gray, and then we can reinvest that in players that they do want and come up with some creative things that'll help them get some power and pace into the squad. That's what they've got to do. I don't know. I don't see the point in keeping hold of someone like Damari Gray if the manager doesn't want him.
No, if the manager's decided,
if the manager doesn't feel like he adds something, and there are players out there that do add something, then
he'll feel that, won't he? The player will know,
of course he will.
Whether or not.
The player wants game time. He wants to play every week, but he's the player himself is not good enough. I stress this lots of times about players and football, and how you can have all the attributes and on certain days they can come together. No, they're supposed to come together every single game, bar a couple. It's called consistency. It's called being a 7 out of 10 player and then going up from that. And if you have a bad game, which can happen, you're a 6 or maybe a 5. But you've got to have that level of consistency every week, whether you're the number 1 or whether you're the number 9. So the manager can, and the manager would rather have a player with lesser sort of explosive attributes. Then it's like Ben Godfrey. It's like I wouldn't have him anywhere near my first team now because he's 25 years of age and his consistency levels are abysmal. 1 minute he's strolling around, running, and it's showing an unbelievable pace. And, does a mad tackle and everyone's cheering and applauding it. And the next minute, he's giving the ball away every minute. Or he can't win a header in the air. Or he doesn't know how to time his headers. And that's what's befallen Mason Holgate as well. Exactly the same thing of, yes, they look good on the day. And they've got good attributes that make them look like good professional Premier League players. But can they do it week in and week out? Look at James Tarkowski, what we saw last season, just a player who went about his business every single week without anything, unbelievable, not having unbelievable pace and just went up just 7 out of 10 most weeks, just done his job. If you've got 5, 6, 7 of them in your team, then you'll finish mid-table. But that's what you've got to strive for, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Someone like Ben Godfrey, for me, I think he's got the pre-season with Dyche. He's had a reset. Last year was a write-off season for him, wasn't he? He went backwards last season big time. I know the injury, got a terrible leg break and he just never came back to any kind of level. Really did he? He's got a pre-season now under a manager that will tell him exactly what he wants from him. It's up to him now. But you're right. We've got to. The first thing I guess we've got to get to as a football team is a level of consistent players. Having players who you know what you're gonna get first and foremost. Doesn't sound very sexy, and it isn't.
No.
But that's what you have to do. You have to put a team on and you go, you know what? I know if all else fails, they'll battle and scrap for everything, right? And then you build on top of that. Klopp done it with Liverpool when he went in there. It was we're going to play at this level so that if the quality doesn't come out, we know that we're still running around like lunatics. And then but they have quality and he's that. Someone like Guardiola does it obviously very differently. He's got a framework and you have to get good players to play in it and all that. But the most basic premise for anyone has to be hard work. Man City are the best team in the world. They're also probably the hardest working team in the world as well. Barcelona were under Guardiola. Everyone praised and lauded them, but the work they did off the ball was insane. You have to do it. Good teams have that work rate, but you also don't get anywhere by being a 9 1 week and a 2 the next. And Everton have got 2, maybe not 9s, maybe I'm massively over-reckoning it, but Everton have got players who are a 7 1 week and a 2 the next. And you're like, we can't have that. We can't have that. So I guess that's where Damari Gray kind of falls through the cracks, isn't it? Is that some weeks you look at him and go, that's what we need. And the next week, and the next 2, and the next 3 weeks, he's way off it. And the manager ends up dropping him. So if someone comes in, yeah, he probably will replace him. Just an extra little bit on the Bilal El story. Bilal El Toure story is... the Almeria CEO has confirmed Everton have made a bid and they're in negotiations. 34 million just seems too much for me. Way too much. Loads of potential, no doubt about it. That to me should be like with add-ons and with everything else. And maybe it is. Maybe someone's come up with that figure and it contains loads of add-ons and all, and it's actually a lot lower. I think if Everton got him for around 25 million, you'd go still a little bit high, but he can play anywhere across he is through the middle, but he's raw. But if you get him, he could make some money on him. But Everton's key, and I don't know how you do this other than to start taking risks, but getting these players when they're not 25 and they're not 30 million pounds. Amadou Onana, 5-6 million before he went to Lille. and then he's 33 million a year later. You know, we need
planning,
these players in at 4 and 5 and 6 and 8 millions.
Just good planning.
Hopefully. I mean, what is hopeful is that there has been a lot of emphasis on, and I hope it doesn't stop now that Sean Dyche is here, and there's no reason to believe it would, is that we do still target younger players. We have kind of done that under Thelwell really, haven't we, last summer, Onana and James Garner and stuff, but obviously there is the
players
caveat.
have to have a sell-on value, don't they?
Got to, for us especially.
Players have got to have that sell-on value so that when you bring them in, you know within a couple of years you can turn them. Got to. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're gonna be bringing players in for 2 years, 3 years, and then have to replace them.
And you will always have the likes of a Rodrigo who is just, it's there, it needs must, and that's one of them. But the majority do have to be the ones that have got a sell-on value in it.
Yeah.
And I know we hated it a couple of years ago, and people talked about it. A lot of the fan base of, what are you saying, sell-on for and all that, but you have to, because it's the only way we can exist. We aren't a super club. We haven't got, and even if we did have crazy wealthy owners, it wouldn't matter unless you can create that money in your budget. That's a big issue, isn't it? The big issue.
Our turnover to wages is
stupid.
It's ridiculous.
Still 90%.
It's ridiculous
like
because the club doesn't make any money. This is the fundamental point. Say it every single day. This is the point. This is why people protest. This is why people kick off on when people go, it's not the board's fault, it's Mashiri's fault. No, the football club doesn't make any money.
I mean, it is Mashiri's fault.
No, it is,
well.
but you still have a board. You still have a board that's there to create revenue.
Absolutely.
The club doesn't make money, and that's down to the people on the board. And that's why there was some people wanted them out.
Yeah. Got to be a way forward. Gary Ward says, howdy, happy 4th of July, Gary. And to any other Americans who are watching and listening, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much, really helps the channel. Dave Wild says, hi lads, just wondering if you think the main obstacle to Everton making any new signings is that contract Dave has left the club. Seems to be a correlation there.
How can you make signings if Dave's not there?
Couldn't we get him on loan just for like a day? Get a couple in and then send them back down to 62. He could come this way and bring a couple of United players on loan, like.
Yeah, bring them
for the season, you know, for the season.
Bring them down.
I wonder if that image will go round of like Dyche sitting with Thelwell and Dyche just like, well, contract Dave, lad. Asking for Sancho. Something like that. Someone do that. Someone mock it up. Liam Dunn says Adam West was the greatest Batman. No, all other opinions avoid.
No, that's utter nonsense.
I mean, Liam, you've gone in there with the Batman show.
That's nonsense.
Is that because we were linked with Batchway?
Give your head a wobble.
The Batman.
Give your head a wobble.
Austin says, morning boys, it's 4th of July over here in my old Kentucky home, and I've just poured my first bourbon. What? Cheers to you and all. Thanks for the daily social. Happy 4th of July, and you're having it's bourbon, isn't it? Bourbon. I say bourbon. Bourbon. You're having your first bourbon.
I don't even know why they celebrate though. They basically created the most chaotic nation in the world, and I don't think that's it. I think they should have just stayed. You know, I think if they'd stayed under our powers, the world would just be a lot better place.
Do you think?
I think so.
Certainly, there wouldn't be mad.
You know, there wouldn't be the madness, would they? There wouldn't be the madness of bearing arms. You know, so there you go.
There you go. Corin, afternoon, Baz and Pet. Any good news? Well, it's sunny outside, Corin. We're all here.
It went sunny.
Listen, we're all here, and it's better than the alternate, isn't it? The way to look at it. That's the way to look at it. Rondon Legend says, afternoon, lads. Stephen Evans says, I just want us to get players in ready for the start of the season. Yeah, what would be really nice, Steve, is if Everton could get a signing over the line before the weekend, so that they go to Switzerland with the where do you go? Austria, with Switzerland, the camp, Switzerland with the team next week. At least one new face, just so that it started. Because football is about perception, and it's perception for us fans, but it's perception for players as well, isn't it? You see your team strengthening, you forget that. You know, the feeling that you are trying to move forward. great seeing the stadium going up and giving them all these great ideas, but the reality is it's about when you cross the line, isn't it? You cross that white line, it's no good having a great stadium if you haven't got a squad fit for purpose. So they've got to just get it sorted. Sophie says Leicester are apparently suing us for 100 million over Everton. Sophie, they're not. You can't sue a football club for FFP, which is nothing to do with it. So ignore it. Whoever's put that out or made it up or whatever, just ignore it. Stephen Evans says we need to offload Iwobi if he doesn't sign the contract. Maybe he's just thingy. Maybe he's just waiting, wants to go on a free. Or maybe he just looks and thinks, well, I know what I'm worth, or what he thinks he's worth, and Everton aren't offering him. So we'll see. Liam says, why do Everton hate me so much, lads? What have I done to deserve this?
They do hate you. They do.
They hate you and all of us, to be honest.
It's in the contract.
Where are we? There's a few giving Ned a little bit of a kicking after last night.
I think so.
Gareth says,
I think he should be kicked all. He looks like he's been given a good kicking though.
He needs to just retire from football.
Dirty.
He needs to retire from football. Gareth Hughes says Burnley pay 15 million for Man City's fourth choice goalkeeper who's made 0 appearances for them. Price on young English players is crazy. Why is this? Why does someone's nationality increase their price? Probably only me who doesn't know, but I don't get it. Well, he'll have the City tax for a start. He's at Man City.
Apparently he is very good.
Therefore, they said Bazunu was very good.
No, this lad's apparently a lot better, but that I find it staggering also.
15 million quid though for a kid that has made an appearance.
19?
It's 19.
19 million?
Just that Gaza said 15.
Gaz doesn't know.
Crazy.
Gaz doesn't
Absolutely crazy. Everton Viking says interesting that the Almere owner has confirmed the bid is true. We're in negotiations for them and mentioned the new owners had an influence on it.
Yeah, seen that, yeah, but probably lost in translation.
Well, I'm not being funny, right? Let's hope they have. Then. Let's hope they have. That's what we want, don't we? We all want it. They're funny because I was doing something this morning, doing homework this morning, and stuff you do when you're trying to look at different things for the channel. And an old video popped up, that video that I sent, and it was the summer 2017. Everton just signed or had agreed to deal with Sandro Ramirez. We're talking about that. We're talking about Davy Klassen, who was already in. Jordan Pickford was in. Gylfi was mentioned at 40 million. I poo-pooed it. And there was a few others just listening to us and seeing us full of hope,
full of wonder.
Probably like what the Geordies are a bit like, with their takeover. And then you just fast forward 6 years. And like some of the things you're saying is, they've got a director of football modelling because Mashiri has seen it and he knows, he understands football and all that. Oh dear. Things like that. It just shows you how wrong you could be. And here we are now, fast forward 6 years, and we're in a totally worse place. And we're having to hope that the next takeover is the one that kind of gets us sorted. It did happen with Man City. It was the second takeover that got them going. We can only hope that new blood coming into the club can breathe some new life into the football club. That's all we can hope. And I don't want to sit here on the 4th of July and be down and depress anyone watching. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to say, look, we are where we are. It's pre-season. We've got, as long as the players are in by Fulham, which is and listen, there will be other players who come into our football club on deadline day. It's the way Everton operate, and they'll probably be loan deals, or if we've managed to sell them, there's another opportunity. But Everton simply have to get a few in before the season starts. There can be none of this. Well, there's still 3 weeks to go of the window, and we can get another. We have to get players in who can come into our team, so they can play some games, so that we can get an idea of what we're trying to do. So we've got a bit of hope, because that Fulham game on the 12th of August represents a great opportunity for Everton to get the first win out the way. It'll be a tough game. We've lost the last 2 at home to Fulham. I don't know how, but we have. But that's still a good opportunity for Everton to start the season with a win. You know, and then that will be 37 points to go to safety. But it'd be get off to a good start, go to Villa with a bit of confidence, come home. It's Wolves then, isn't it? Another home game against Wolves before the window shuts. Really good opportunity for Everton to get 6 or 7 points on the board. All difficult games, don't get me wrong. Villa away will be massively tough, it always is. But it's a good opportunity for Everton to get off the mark, because we saw that when we wasted 5 games last. I remember you fuming last season that there was 5 games, and we almost just went, well, we'll wait till the end of the window and see what we end up with. But there was 5 games, and those 5 games proved pivotal. We didn't win a single one of them.
Yeah.
And we ended up going to the final day of the season. So I'm trying to be upbeat, and I will stay that way. But we do have to start. They have to start meeting us halfway, don't they? Because in pre-season's the time when you should be absolutely ready and buzzing to get back to Goodison and watch them. So let's hope that it can happen. Brighton are in talks to sign Calvin Bassey from Ajax, because they've actually done things the right way, and they're in such a good position that they can now go after more expensive but still young players like him who'll take them further forward. Well, it is that you get your processes in place, and then you build and you build. It's that simple. Benjamin James says, how's Ned gonna muck the channel up today, I wonder? Well, he's already volleyed a camera or a microphone and stuff like that.
The controller for the cameras.
So,
good start.
Adam says, do you lads know how news of clubs' interest in a player gets out? Is it agents passing on the story to journos, club officials themselves leaking it to the press? It's very rare now you get a deal done overnight without any word of it in the press. But I suppose social media has a big part to play in it. I think it's all of those things, Adam. I think people are involved in it, in the transfer, as in you're in a football club, and it won't be the senior people, but it'll be someone who's like their assistant who will pass it on to a mate.
Lots of moving parts.
And then it gets passed on again. Agents like to slide the stuff out in case they want to nibble from other clubs as well. And people can't hold their own water.
It's an industry now, though, isn't it?
You've got, look at Fabrizio Romano. You've got him leaking everything, haven't you? And he's got 2 million Twitch followers. He's a millionaire probably now because he charges those 2 million. If they all pay the quid, there you go, he's a millionaire. So it's a big industry for him now, and people are desperate for news, aren't they? So you'll have people like him, but you will have people who want to impress the mates and tell the mates, and then the mates tell someone else, and then all of a sudden it's out. That's what happens. But you also do get the agents going, well, you know, we're in negotiations with these, and they're passing it on to people. Loose lips sink ships, and that's what happens now, and that's just the way it is, mate. So very rare will you get to a position where there's an announcement at 2 o'clock that Everton have signed someone, and we go, what? And nobody has heard it. And if the top clubs like City, they're slightly better at it than other people.
But the faster, that's why.
The faster. And therefore, the longer the move takes as well, it gets out. Like this Mason Mount one, he's completed his medical, but that's been going on for months because they were interested. It was put out, and it's been at every turn it's been leaked, hasn't it? So it becomes a saga. If that was Everton, if he was signing for Everton, this had gone on. Some of our fans would have been hammering the football club that this wasn't completed weeks ago. But so they do take time, but yeah, there's lots of moving parts, and with lots of moving parts, it will get out, won't it? It will, and we're all thirsty for news, aren't we? All of us. So it is. It's not just Everton. It's like that with everyone, isn't it? Michael Kearney says Gray is dead behind the eyes. Okay. Sam F says, what would you consider a good season next season? Would it be just to stay up, or do we need to see a clear signs of progression?
No, a good season would be moving in the right direction, seeing a style of football being played, positive things happening off the pitch. That would be a good season. Just surviving wouldn't be a good season. It would be the club moving forward. It would be less drama, be less noise, be Everton not being the story on the back of newspapers. You know, that would be a good season.
Yeah.
Of course, it will have its ups and downs. Of course, it will, because you have to look at the squad. But
what's brilliant is the camera's still on me. You're talking.
I know it's because he's not concentrating. Because he's not concentrating.
I can only apologise to the viewers there. Ped's talking. I was having a drink because I thought the camera was on him. I can only apologise. Ned is just definitely not on it today at all. He's turning in a mopipe. A mopipe performance.
We'll do one job, the job you're supposed to do.
A mope. Just leave it on the two shot then if you're doing stuff. And then it's never a problem. Yeah, carry on. Sorry. Carry on.
I've lost my train of thought. Ned has ruined my...
No, you were saying about a season being a bit of progression, bit quieter, obviously moving up the table a little bit.
Yeah, just a solid season where everyone feels a little bit better. No, you know, and that would be a good season, I think. Nothing's going to turn around overnight.
No.
You've got to build it up slowly, but...
Absolutely.
But, you know, someone in the comments there said you need to cheer me up. I'll be honest, I am really angry about the situation at Everton. I honestly can't believe, and just no one can say to me, I honestly can't believe that this MSP stuff has taken so long. I honestly just can't believe
it. Does.
No, I know it. No, but it doesn't though. It's been going on It's been going on since January.
I know, but
because certain people can't get their fucking hands out their asses and get it done. It needs to be done so people can have a plan in place.
It needs to be done for you.
No, it needs to be done for Everton. It needs to be done. Okay, that's what annoys me. And no, because people will say to you, "Oh, things take time." They don't. No proper football clubs. They just get things done.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna shoot you down here. We want it done for us and for our football club. We need it done. The fella who can do it, Everton's on his priority list. Everton are probably 27th. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact.
The fella who can get it done is the fella who owns Everton Football Club.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter where we are on his priority list. This is
It does, because
we're not 27th on his priority list.
He doesn't care about Everton.
This is a £500 million.
Doesn't care about Everton.
Well, if he doesn't care, he's going to lose £500 million.
He doesn't care about it.
I think he cares.
If he cares, this would have been done.
I think he cares.
If he cared, he'd be doing everything.
But that's
to make Everton as attractive and be as good as possible. He's done everything that has negatively impacted Everton.
I'm
getting to the place now where I just think this is definitely.
Well, I'm still within my right to be angry about it because
I'm not telling you
this is going on and it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Waiting for new owners or waiting for new investments. Get the bleeding thing done. Sign the forms that need to be signed and get it done.
He might say, and I don't know whether he would say.
He wouldn't say anything because he's shit scared of us.
Whatever he would say, if you actually sat with him, he might turn around and go, this MSP thing isn't affecting the day-to-day run of the football club at all.
Well, it clearly is.
No, but I'm saying.
Because everybody says it is.
Who's everybody?
No, the people that we've got an interim board. We need to get this thing.
They said it's affecting.
We need to get this thing. Well, yeah. Well, I've heard in multiple reports in the last 2 days saying nothing can get done till.
Who said this though? It's only people guessing, isn't it?
It's not guessing, is it? If multiple people say it.
Well, it is because I could say something. Ned could say it. Gemma could say. You could say it. Doesn't mean we know.
These things are
journalists don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on.
It doesn't matter, does it? It's not getting done. We're sitting here and we know there's evidence of it not getting done. It's not happening. We have an interim board that clearly is just sitting there. Keep on getting told, it's all right, it's moving. It's not moving fast enough. It's as simple as that. It is not moving fast enough. And people go, it'll never move. It has to. This has been going on since January. It has to move faster. They've got to stop dragging the feet so that there can be funds or a plan put in place for everything, for the stadium, for the finances this summer, so people understand what their roles are, who's staying, who's going. These things need to be sorted out. This is not the time of the year to be sitting here waiting for things to happen, because this is the most important time. So that is making me a little bit angry. I understand there's no money. I understand that for ages. But the only way things are going to start moving as a football club if people are in decisive roles that they're staying in. Colin Chang can't sit there and make important decisions. He's an interim CEO. He can't make big decisions.
No.
So we need to get the people in place who are going to be the CEO, who are going to be sitting on the board for the long term. They need to come in. And it doesn't matter if people, this is how business works, blah, blah. I don't care. They've had long enough to get this sorted. And they need to start pushing it quicker to get it over the line, because It's the first thing Sean Dyche is going to say. What have I got? Where's my budget? Who can I get in? Why am I waiting for another sign-off? So start the process, or get the process finished, sorry, because it's this is again another huge season. The squad's on its arse. They're going to be coming back for pre-season with about 9 players because of with people being out in international duty, and they've got to get it over the line. They really have to.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, I personally don't believe he is that bothered, because I don't believe he would let someone drag. It's great saying he's got to be, of course, but is he? Where's the evidence? Like you've just said, he gave an interview in January saying, I'm close to securing this, right? So that might have been 3 months away before he did secure it, which takes us to basically May. And now the stuff's gone in, and now it's going through. But I haven't seen any evidence, really, because he wouldn't have left the board in place for so long. He wouldn't have put people like Rafa Benitez in charge of it when everyone was saying, don't put him in charge. I haven't got a clue what his intentions are or what he's doing, because it doesn't seem to me like he's someone who is fully dedicated to making Everton better. He might have built a stadium or put money into Everton building a stadium, but he's trying to get money back as well. I want to see the evidence.
He ain't going to get that money back, is he? If Everton aren't.
Do people forget, though, that it's Everton's money? People do. Everton are the ones who are having to. Don't forget, we lose money all the time. It's our money. He's not lost money. It's Everton's lost money.
Well, he will lose money, won't he? Because he is given loans to Everton, so he will lose money.
Okay.
No, but
Everton's money. It does make me laugh when people go, he's put in 700 million. Everton have spent 600.
He has loaned money to Everton. He is paying for the stadium in terms of
Everton will pay for the stadium. John Blaine even said the same thing. You asked John. He goes,
the point
Everton will pay for it.
If Everton's value is severely decreased because of all this, he's not going to get the same amount back. So he needs, and that big chunk of money that's coming in from MSP, that's going to help massively. So he needs to get it over the line, and then he can not worry about it by going away. Worry about it even less then. But this has got to happen soon. Otherwise, we're just walking into oblivion again. While other people are getting on with their work because they've got settled football clubs.
Yeah, I won't disagree with that. Like I say, I'm just not convinced by him. If that was me and I wanted this football club to be on the best footing, you'd be doing everything you could, quickening things up. You'd be looking for ways to get
well, that's why I'm angry, because it's not getting done.
I know, so that's what I'm saying. I think it's down to him. That's my opinion. It's up to him to prove me wrong. Gavin Johnson says we're lucky to get 5 million for Mopai. I don't know. I still think people pay money, mate. I still think people will pay money for it. He's a Premier League footballer. Whether we like him or not, whether we think he's good or not. Everton are looking to try and get 7.5 million for Ellis Sims, who at the moment isn't a Premier League footballer. Neil Mopai is a Premier League footballer. He's not one I'd choose, but he is a Premier League footballer. You would get more than Ellis Sims for Neil Mopai, I think, anyway. Everton could easily get, or certainly the same. Everton could be getting 7.5, 8 million for him. Pretty good fitness says, where do you want Everton to finish? Well, I want Everton to finish first. Where do I think Everton will finish? Between 11 and 14th. I think Everton will finish this season, which is horrific. But would be progress after the last 2 seasons, which is, I can't believe I'm actually saying it, but that's the way it is. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. The Blue says, I'd take 5 to 10 million for both Godfrey and Holgate, to be honest. 10 million for Godfrey. You know what? I still think there's something there with Godfrey. I do. He's got the attributes. Yeah, he hasn't. Last season was a write-off, like you said. He went backwards, he had the injury, and he come back and he was not on it. But I still think there's something in there with Godfrey. I might be wrong, but I just think at 24, 25, with all the attributes he's got, the pace. We'll see soon, won't we? You might be absolutely spot on, mate. I know Ped doesn't rate him either, but I think there's enough there to work with. But we'll see. Stu says, yes or no, do you think Iwobi will sign a new contract? What do you think's happening? They've got less than a year now. Don't get me wrong, I'm not banging the drum saying Everton should sign him. I just think, do you think this will just peter out?
Go for free next summer. Everton won't dare sell him this summer.
Yeah, fair enough. Paul says, I'll pay the taxi myself to take Holgate. I do think Holgate will move on this summer. Sheffield United are very interested in him, apparently.
Let's hope so. But then we'd be, again, though, another player
but
down.
That's only going to be like loan now, isn't it, or something? Really? But the only way you loan them, because let's be honest, right now, they're our rivals, Sheffield United. So if you're given a defender to our rivals, then they've either got to loan them with an obligation, not we'll see, with an obligation to buy, or they buy him now. You can't just put him on loan to Sheffield United for the season, because we may as well just keep him in our squad, because he can play right. He can stand on the pitch in the right back position, and he can play centre back for you. And at a push, he could probably go and maybe in the middle of midfield for you in a real push. Can't just be giving them to rivals on loan and just go with an obligation. I get it, because you're getting that money next year then, but we'll see. Jakey Boy says, if you're watching this and haven't took 2 seconds to press the like button, you're a cop-out. I mean, there will be some cop-outs watching.
It's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement. Especially if you haven't subscribed as well, that's naughty. And definitely subscribe to More Than a Game channel, which is about all football. That's on at 2, the transfer show, be on at 2, so get over there at 2. Just looking for what's here. Thomas Skillander says, hi guys from Australia.
Hello.
Why don't they buy players from Japan? That is a shout, by the way.
It's a blind spot, isn't it?
How can it be, though? I know, I'm not saying to you, but I just mean there's some brilliant players over there.
It's a blind spot, isn't it? It's a blind spot. There's a I don't know what it is. I'm trying to think of the right word. It's just people look at certain places and just write them off before they even get an opportunity. Japanese players are incredibly hard working. That's not even like a stereotype. That's a fact. Of course, quality is will go up and down, but they just don't. It's bizarre. It's bizarre that and someone again will get bargains by going there, and even if those players take a little bit of time to settle.
Yeah, we'll see, eh? Conlon says, hope Patterson makes right back his own. Yeah, that's the aim this year, isn't it, Conlon? He's been here for 2 seasons now. First season he he's been here 1.5 seasons, wasn't it? First season, the half a season, he didn't feature, did he, at all? We had 1 half against Boreham Wood, which I thought was disgraceful from Lampard at the time, taking him off at half time in a game against them. It was a shocking bit of management. And then he got injured and was out. But last season, he looked in patches like he was ready to make it his own. He started the season really well, got injured, got back in, was just picking back up, got injured again. And it was like that for him. So this is the year he's got to stay fit. And he's got to make that his own. He's got to make sure Seamus is a sub this season for us. That's got to be the aim for him. And then we'll take it from there. Kev Murphy says, I genuinely think Godfrey's just an absolute athlete. I know he struggled last year, but in simple situations, his head doesn't seem to switch on. Alex Goulden says, this stuff about Branthwaite wanting to leave real or just noise? I think it's noise. I really do. I think it's noise because I think he said a couple of weeks ago when he was away with England that his ambition was to play for Everton this season, and then the next minute they go, no, we want to leave. I just don't get it. I think what he's saying is, Everton, I'm under contract at Everton and I'm happy there. I want to get in the team and play in the Premier League. If he's as good as what you look, if you look at him and go, he's got a lot of good attributes. If he does well, then big clubs will come in for him, won't they? But I think he's got to get into Everton's team first and prove his quality. If he does, I think him and Taki would be good. I think. We definitely need a left back as well, though, don't we?
Yeah, 100%.
As well. Where are we? James says, does the longer the window go on, the more Delhi looks like an option? Right.
Well, he is an option, isn't he? He'll be back on training this week. He's an Everton player. You've got to make a decision on him because he'll cost us a lot of money if they trigger it, and they've got to make that decision. So, but he's an Everton player, isn't he? So he will. The manager will have a look at him, see whether he's up for it.
I think the one thing Sean Dyche isn't, I don't think he's a fool, is he? So I don't think Delhi could kid him. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying
he couldn't even kid Frank Lampard.
No, there you go. I'm not saying anything about Delhi or anything about Sean Dyche. But what I know is I don't think Delhi could blag Sean Dyche that he was like doing the work, and I just think if Dyche has got anything, it's he understands which footballers are going to work hard. And I think if Delhi comes back and works hard and looks like he could offer Everton something, Dyche might give him a go because we need players. But then again, he might sum them up and then we can just go, not for me, mate. We'll know, won't we? If he gets in Everton's squad team, then quite clearly he must be doing something right, mustn't he, in training and all that. Don't forget, he can play in all the friendlies, can't he? Because that doesn't incur any appearances. Get him fit and see what's what. Who knows? He might be useful, he might not. He might attract somewhere from Saudi towards the end of the window or something. So we'll see. But you're right, as long as it goes on, it does become an option. If you could get Delhi to be 70%, and that's probably a big ask, of what he used to be, he would still be better than probably most of Everton's
The only
options.
problem is, though, he's got to be 70%, he's still got to work 100%.
No, I know.
Because
do I think that Latin? No.
That's the issue with him, isn't it?
No.
It's the football. It's not about the footballer. It's about
the work.
It's about what he puts in training. It's about setting standards. And who knows? Listen, the manager's already said it. It's going to be the toughest pre-season some of these players have ever gone through. Who's to say that by it being the toughest and by the end of the first week, I think the manager will know by the end of the first week. Absolutely. Never mind the ball being kicked. Yeah. I think the manager will know by the end of the first week whether he's up for it. Yeah. But who's to say that the player, by having a very tough pre-season and getting that real core fitness, doesn't suddenly go, oh, I like this. I'm fit.
I'm back on it.
I'm fit and I'm sharp. And it's that sharpness that brings out all his skill sets. He's going to know after about a week because he's going to be throwing up. And the manager will know by then probably whether he's up for it or he's not. And that's when you've got to find out about your players, isn't it? And it's when you find out about your players whether they're up for doing it and whether they're willing to give that little bit of extra. You know, but to be fair, it's probably around now you find out because some of our players are training hard. Nathan Patterson, Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
He has been into Finch Farm a few times, Delhi, training and stuff. And I've seen him. He was away with Carl Walker-Peters, wasn't he? And someone else doing work. Yeah, so that's it, isn't it? Listen, I'm not putting any kind of stock in Delhi whatsoever. None whatsoever. It's just he's here. We may as well use him until we don't use him. That's the way I look at it. The manager, like I said before, this manager won't be kidded by. That's the one thing I think with Sean Dyche. You can't kid him. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that one. But I mean, quite probably nothing will happen with it, and he'll move on. But we'll see. We'll see. A few people saying he's finished. Yeah, fair play. Like I said, I'm not saying anything. Dr. Wamprang Lingdo says Zaha is a free agent. Is he going to go to Saudi, though?
He's agreed 4 different deals, hasn't he?
Has he?
He's going to have a busy season next season.
He's going to have to be fit. Maybe he'll come training with us.
I think he's 4 different deals he's already agreed to. So
he's just got to pick.
Now.
He's just got to pick. Fair play to him. Where are we? Kev Murphy says, lads, what do we have to pay if Dele keeps playing? If he plays another 8, we have to pay 10 million for him. I don't know what the next marker is after that. The initial thing I'd seen was 10 million at 20, 10 million at 40, and then there was a couple of others. It was never getting to 40 million because Everton are never getting in Champions League or whatever. And it'd be incredible if we won an FA Cup. It'd be worth paying Dele 40 million if Everton won an FA Cup, or Tottenham 40 million, whatever. So we couldn't see that happening. But if it is that 10 at 20 and 10 at 40, if he did look like he was sharp, it would almost be worth Everton playing him for 26 games, paying 10 million. Because it means and then stopping short of the next marker for Tottenham, do you know what I mean? Because you'd have had quite a bit out of him. And then you get rid of him. He's out of contract anyway next summer. So you'd have to look at it like that. The reality is he's probably just going to go, isn't he? Maybe to Saudi or something like that. So I just wouldn't worry about it. What I would say is if he gets in a Sean Dyche team, he'll have earned it. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Do I believe that'll happen? It seems very unlikely, put it that way.
Some news just coming.
Yeah, go on.
Duncan Ferguson set to leave Forest Green.
Someone said that, yeah, but is that real?
Don't know, just...
Signed a 5.5 year. It's off Sky Sports Pete, isn't it?
Well, he used to be Sky Sports Pete. He's Pete O'Rourke.
Yeah, he gets more wrong than me nan.
Don't know, he's
Oh, there you go. What, just leave, as in leave?
Yeah, update set to leave. Couldn't.
I wonder if they've got...
Couldn't handle the veggie burgers anymore.
I wonder if they've got they haven't given him any money or anything.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Find out.
Interesting. No. Yeah, let's see what happens. Should have kept Moyes Keane, says Elijah. Well, you know what, mate? We could have kept him, couldn't we? But Benitez didn't want to even give him a go when we didn't have any players. Steve P says, Bazzy, looking forward to Alan Wake too. Yeah. Scary, mate, that game. But a good game. Have you played it yet?
No, because they're charging for it again.
Shut up.
No, they are, yeah, because I think
it's good as well. It's weird, like it's a weird game, that, mate.
I think it's because the second one's coming out. Started charging for it. I was going to get it when I seen the second one coming out.
It's good, you know. It is, but you do
I do need a new game.
You do panic as well. You've got to get to certain places on it. Wow, it is a jumpy game. Like, I did play Max Payne. He's in this new one as well as the detective. Wow, belter. Max Payne was good. Gareth says, with Cody going for 8 million, did we not miss a trick signing him for 4 million then selling him straight away for more? Or is there something against that?
No, there's not.
There probably isn't, no.
I don't think there is anything against that.
No?
It's just
that. But then it beats to the player, wouldn't it? Convince him, Connor, come on, mate. Oh, Connor, you're up for sale. You never know. Everton Viking says, our fans massively undervalue players. 5 million for Godfrey is just silly. Look at what other teams get for players. We still live in the prices from over 15 years ago. We got 7 million for Anichebe. Even our players aren't as low value as some. Our bad players aren't as low value as some fans make out. And Rich Bond says, what would we like this year? Perhaps no managerial change equals a decent season. Getting past the first few rounds of a cup competition and not having horrendous home record. Safe by March, party time. Bugger, it's a sad state of affairs. All of the above, Rich. All of the above would represent progress, I think. If Everton played a full season out and the manager was still in place next May.
Imagine.
And we weren't going to the last few games in relegation fear, and we got to like the quarters of the Carabao Cup and the quarters of the FA Cup, say. I know I am
Doesn't really matter, does it?
No, the cups for me, it's either you go and win it or what's the point really. But certainly having a manager still in place at the end of this coming season.
It'd be really nice. Be really nice if Goodison Park was, genuinely a difficult place to go.
Get our home form back to like 10, 11, 12 home wins. Just make it horrible and win the game. You don't mind losing. You do. I hate losing any game of football. But if it's the top teams that beat you, you just go, they're better than us. But let's try and let's try and get 10 home wins, surely. I know it sounds massive and it's difficult, but starting with them 2 in August.
8 home wins and you're fine, aren't you?
You're on the run, yeah.
You're fine, aren't you?
So let's do that. Right, we're going. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks to everyone who's commented. Thanks to everyone who joined in. We're going live in 10 minutes on More Than a Game, doing the general football show for half an hour. So get over there as well. The link is in the description. Go and subscribe there. Subscribe here. Thanks for watching. Up the Toffees. See you later.
Bit late.